Hey, it's Adea. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a wear test as well as a first impressions of the brand Kosas. I've tried the concealer and I also have tried the skin tint. I was first introduced to them through BoxyCharm, and then they decided to ask me, hey, since you tried it, would you like to try some more stuff? I thought I was just gonna receive concealers, if we're being quite honest, but they ended up sending me a bunch more things. I'm very excited about that, so we're going to deep dive and try some of these products out. But since it's been a while since I've tried the skin tint, I'm basically going to be reintroduced to this all over again, so let's just get into it. So this box is full of different products. I've already unboxed some of them because I wanted to test it out more or less just to see. Before applying foundation, especially during these hot months, I like to go in with powder first, using my powder puff, specifically in the areas that I am very dewy, if you will. I'm going to go in, and the first product that we're going to try is the face oil. That's what it looks like against my skin. With this, you have to remember to shake it well because it is an oil foundation, and the shade that I use it in is 8.7. I'm gonna use just a few drops of this on my face. It says to use your fingers, so on one side I'm gonna use my fingers, and then on the other side I'm going to use my sponge. I'm not the type of person who enjoys using my hands to do my makeup. I'm not a fan. I'm just gonna use the excess of it and apply it to my forehead. Apply it to my face in 3 different drops, and I'm going to go in with the bottom of this beauty sponge just to kind of see if there's a difference. Kind of seeing more coverage using the fingers, but this being a face oil, I want it to look as skin-like as possible. This side of my face looks more skin-like and this side of my face looks more dewy because your fingers aren't absorbent, so they're not going to reduce anything. I do use a shade 8.7, but they did send me a few other shades of the concealer. So I have the shade 8.8N and I have the shade 8.2. This one is the concealer. They're supposed to be the same shade, but honestly the reason I fell in love with the brand was because the concealer was such a good skin tone match. This 8.2 shade, this is what it looks like. So it's even more golden, making these look very red. I don't have any issue with it. Love the coverage of it. It's not too heavy, which I really like. I'm gonna kind of just let that sit and dry down before attempting to blend it out. Now I can apply the shade to my upper lip area because it's less wet. The color is just, it just does it for me. To me, it just kind of like brings the color back to the face, but without, going ham on highlighting. I'm a very big fan of that. So the next one that I'm going to pick up is the shade 8.2. And I'm just going to apply this to a smaller area, which is, right here, down the center of my nose. I'm just gonna let that sit. They also sent their Velvet Melon Color and Light Cream Blush. This is what it looks like. Just watch the highlighter just to see what the color would look like. Not a bad color. And then the melon shade, honestly not a bad color. It would not be my go-to color for blush, but because we are working on slightly dewy skin, we're going to go in with a duo fiber brush and apply the blush. It doesn't have like split names like what other blush types would have. I'm going to apply it. Let's see if it's doing anything. Like I could see it, but it's not really like adding much, so I wish I had gotten a darker one. Maybe this is the darkest one. I didn't actually check the website to see. I kind of wanted to go into this as blindly as possible. I'm not mad at the texture. I can't feel it on my skin, so that's always very nice when it comes to cream products. But I just don't think the color is for me. I'm gonna use a small brush and pick up a highlighter shade and just take that over and blend it out with the sponge. Is it giving? Not really. And I'm just going to use the other side of the tip and blend out the brighter part of the concealer. It's not as dewy as I remember. I don't really think it's doing much for my face. I have a bronzer and some setting powder. Just going based off of these shades, I wouldn't be able to use it from my under eye area, so I'm just gonna use my crayon case powder that I used in the beginning. This is usually how I put powder on my face. The reason I apply so much is because I tend to sweat, all that extra stuff, so I kind of just let it do its thing for a few minutes and then I dust it away. In terms of the Cloud Set setting powder, let's take a look at them. This one is the shade Velvety, which is a sheer deep color. This is what the shade looks like, and this is what it looks like on my hand. It's slightly darker than what my preference is. Let's see what this one, a sheer rich deep color. So this is what this one looks like. Yeah, this is giving bronzer contour for me. They actually did send the bronzer, so let's see what that one looks like. It's a moisturizing baked bronzer. Just giving deeper highlighter for me, but we're gonna swatch it anyway. I'm a little confused. We're going to make the products work. I tend to use the Sephora Micro Smooth, and this is what the shade looks like. In terms of the two colors that are here, these are what they look like side by side. I'm going to use my regular powder to set my face and then find other ways to use the other products because not really feeling it. So the highlighter is kind of peeking through, but the blush has altogether disappeared. That's what my usual powder would look like, and then I would spray my face down. But since we have other powdery products to try, we're gonna try the Cloud Set in the shade Dreamy to contour. I already knew it wasn't going to be a perfect setting powder just based off of how rich the color was. So I'm going to use the Velvety Cloud Set. Just go over cheek area to add a bit of a bronze. And we're going to see what this one, which is the Deep Warm Bronzer, what it does for my face. Before I put the other bronzer, it's kind of orangey, so it's kind of acting a bit like a deeper blush. I'm gonna go back to the Velvety shade and add some dimension to my nose. So if you guys would like to see me try some more of the products but like go into an actual store and select the shades myself, let me know. I have some brow products which I'm excited to try. We have the Air Brow, which is clear and colored. So have pencils. So the pencils are called Brow Pop in black and brown black. We're gonna swatch the brown black and then we're gonna swatch black. So I'm definitely feeling brown black a lot more because black is a little darker than I would like. The pencils are the same shade, so let's see if they compare. This one is the shade brown black, so we're gonna try that under here. So they more or less look the same. I just think that this is slightly lighter. I'm not gonna allow it to throw us off. So for the clear brow gel, I'm just gonna go in. My brow doesn't feel crunchy, but it feels very silky. I'm going to let it dry down for a little bit and then fill it in. So I'm going to go in now with the shade brown black now that my brows have dried down. This tip is kind of shaped like a mini version of the Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. So that's something to consider if you like that shape but you wish it was as small as precisely my brow. I wonder how the prices compare. The color is much more natural than I envisioned. I'm not disappointed by this at all. I'm gonna end up using the black shade and adding somewhat definition to the brow. I'm now going to use the shade brown black in Air Brow. Use that to additionally set as well as add a bit of color to my brow. To use the Kosas concealer again, and I'm just going to define under my brows, because no matter how natural my makeup is, I still like my brows to have a bit of a statement when I do them. Today's no different. I'm just going to define and clean it up. The last product period that I have is the lip oil. I don't have anything colored, so I'm just going to apply it to my lips, kind of see if it gives hydration. It smells a little balmy and medicated, so it's not as greasy as like a Carmex, but it has that sort of shine as Carmex does, and it smells medicated. So this is essentially what my full face looks like. I'm going to be keeping this on for a maximum of 4 hours and then checking back in with you guys, but my initial thoughts are that I do not have the right colors for everything, so it's not as compatible with me as I would like, but I am willing to try this again. But despite the shade not being what I wanted it to be, happy with the overall look. The products are definitely very pigmented. To me, they function as well as I would expect them to, because Kosas is a type of brand that is making makeup for people who love skincare. So it's going to be more on the natural side, which is why I didn't go heavy with the eye look. I just used bronzers, mascara, called it a day. I actually got some mascara in my eye, so I ended up messing up under here, but it is what it is. So in terms of how the swatches dry down, as you guys could see, the foundation dried down a little better than the concealers. The concealers are definitely more on the dewy side, and even the cream products dried down pretty nicely. I'm honestly not against this brand. Like I said, the concealer is my favorite product from this, and I'm definitely liking the lip oil and how it feels, and the brow pencils I could see in my usual rotation from time to time, but I'm interested to see what the airbrow, the colorful airbrows, what they look like, you know, on their own. I'm going to be going into the wear test in a few hours. It's now 1:11, so we're going to get some stuff done around the house, edit a little bit, and then I'll see you guys as quickly as possible. After about 6 hours, I would rate this entire experience a 7 out of 10 because I am very dewy in my T-zone. This is something that I've had to deal with because my skin is oily combination, so I already walked into this knowing that as a more natural foundation, my skin would naturally just look more dewy than if I wasn't wearing something that was catered towards my skin type. I did enjoy all of the products that I used. I just wish that some of them were a different color. There wasn't anything that I tried that did not work for me. I just had to repurpose it. Do your research before you go and purchase, and I would recommend seeing the products in person versus seeing them online. I hope that this was informative enough for you to be able to make a decision as to whether or not you guys would be purchasing this for yourself. It is available at Sephora as well as on their website, so choose your option for what you want to do. And if you've used this brand, be sure to let me know down in the comments, or just let me know based off of what you saw me use, what it is that you like. If you guys would like to see an updated video, let me know. I am open to trying more products from the brand. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next upload. Before you go, be sure to check out over here for recommended videos as well as what's best for you as the viewer, and over here subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, bye.